Good evening, I'm Ryan Graham. Thank you for joining us. After weather delays back in July, Thunder Pride's Rainbow Revival made its big comeback at the CLE Coliseum today. Things started off this afternoon with a Pride March and a family-friendly portion of the event, with vendors, activities, and live entertainment. Jessica Clement has a story.
The CLE Coliseum was alive with pride and music on Saturday as Thunder Pride's Rainbow Revival Festival made its return.
The big gay comeback at the Coliseum today. We got rained out for July's event. It was supposed to be at the Friendship Gardens and Fort William Parade, but it rained and thundered so much. So this is our rescheduled event.
Thunder Pride Chair Scotia Copey is relieved to finally host the event after months of planning. The new scheduled date also lines up with the 2S LGBTQIA+ History Month, which is recognized in October in Canada. Copey explains the comeback event has two parts, with the first half of the event focused on more family-friendly activities, with vendors, crafters, and live music. After 6, the festival will shift into a 19+ event.
$5 at the door. Our wristband will get you also $5 off at the Black Pirates Pub later tonight for their Loud and Proud dance party. And we will have hip-hop, burlesque, drag, and comedy acts, along with still vendors, food, beer, and just more fun and entertainment.
The fun will continue on after the festival with the Loud and Proud after party at Black Pirates Pub starting at 9 p.m. Copey emphasized the importance of hosting events like the Rainbow Revival Festival.
It's extremely important to show that we are a welcoming community, to make sure that people feel welcomed, because the internet and the news and everything can feel so overwhelming, and going back to the old ways of thinking with hate and discrimination. The internet's such a sounding board that people will see and can really affect how you view yourself. So this is just to let everyone know that we are welcoming, we are a safe space. Thunder Bay is a wonderful place, and you can find friends and people who love and cherish you here.
Jessica Clement, TBT News.
The Ontario Native Women's Association held their annual Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls powwow as part of Sisters in Spirit Day. Emma Chilton reports.
Community members gathered for a powwow held in honor of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. The ceremony brought together families, elders, dancers, and supporters to remember those who have been lost and to call for justice and awareness. CEO of Ontario Native Women's Association, Cora McGuire-Surrett, says the Vigil for Sisters in Spirit was honored through culture and teachings.
Today is Sisters in Spirit Day, and typically we host vigils today to remember and honor our lost loved ones and survivors of MMIWG. This year we decided to actually host our powwow to honor MMIWG, the families and survivors of Indigenous women who are no longer here or who have survived violence. And so today our vigil is about holding space together through our culture and our teachings.
McGuire-Surrett adds that systematic change and healing is what these events are about.
And so I really wanted to acknowledge the Thunder Bay Police for stepping up and taking a leadership role, and for working to bring home our sister in particular. And so I just really wanted to acknowledge that we can see systemic change beginning to happen, and that's what these events are all about, is healing together as a community, working together, and healing as a community, as a collective.
Chief of Fort William First Nation, Michelle Solomon, says this event gives community members the opportunity to come together and support each other.
For me, it's very important to be here because, of course, Fort William First Nation has had its own missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, and it's an opportunity for those people in our community who may be affected by this, or just want to come and honor and acknowledge and be part of this ceremony.
Emma Chilton, TBT News.
Canada has a high level of birth control use, but despite that, we also have a high rate of unplanned pregnancies. CTV's Pauline Chan has more.
In Canada, just over 72% of women of reproductive age use some form of contraceptive. Condoms are the most popular, followed by birth control pills. But these methods are known to fail occasionally, and our rate of unplanned pregnancies is 265,000 every year, with 100,000 of those ending in abortion. And Dr. Dustin Kostescu says Canadians do have more reliable methods available.
LARCs are an acronym for long-acting reversible contraceptives. These are a family of birth control options that by definition you need to use or administer less than once per year.
Contraceptives such as IUDs and progestin implants.
We have seen a slow and steady increase in LARC methods. We're at about 7 to 8%, in the country, but that falls behind France, the European Union, and the UK, where you see LARC rates, closer to kind of the 20% range.
Why aren't LARCs as popular? Dr. Kostescu says many women rely on their social networks, their moms or circle of friends, who may not be as knowledgeable about IUDs or implants.
In order to have a LARC placed, in the arm or in the womb, you need access to a healthcare provider. And as we know, there's a shortage of providers.
And even if they are trained, many health providers don't do the procedure because it doesn't pay as much as other services. Unplanned pregnancies cost our healthcare system $320 million a year in prenatal care, neonatal care, as well as miscarriages and abortions. And Kostescu says families with unexpected children face additional burdens.
The cost of unintended pregnancies actually runs economically into the billions. It costs a lot of money to raise a child to 18, and most of us as parents are raising our children, and supporting them financially far beyond that.
A new report entitled Removing the Roadblocks, Policies to Improve Access to LARCs calls for increased education about LARCs and universal coverage of contraceptives.
Every health system that has implemented universal access to contraception has reaped both cost benefits as well as societal benefits by seeing great reductions in the rates of unplanned pregnancy.
He points to the UK, where he says for every dollar spent on providing contraceptives, $4 are saved in healthcare costs. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Nearly 300 employees at a Northern Ontario cornerstone of Canada's print industry, Cap Paper in Kapuskasing, have received temporary layoff notices. Officials and residents of the town are now calling on the provincial and federal governments to work with the town to keep the paper mill open. CTV's Lydia Chubak has the story.
For over 100 years, this paper mill has been a cornerstone in Kapuskasing, but its future is uncertain. Owned by shareholders and run by a board of directors, the decision to idle operations came Monday, and people are scared.
We all received temporary layoffs, indefinite layoffs.
Luc Paquette is the president of Unifor Local 256, which represents about 70 of Cap Paper's 275 employees.
This came very suddenly, and members are devastated. Everyone's got a brother, a sister, a father, a mother working here. Everyone's got a relationship to this mill, and we're here for each other.
And together, we will keep fighting.
A one-hour rally took place outside of Cap Paper today. Participants hope federal and provincial leaders hear their cries. Today's rally drew hundreds of people, including employees from Cap Paper, children out of school, and mayors from out of town, all standing together to tell the Premier and the Prime Minister they will be on their doorsteps next if a concrete solution isn't found as soon as possible. Mayor Dave Plourde is also a Cap Paper board member. He says there's no more money left to operate Cap Paper or to pay employees. He's asking the federal and provincial governments to invest in Northern Ontario's forestry sector.
I think, quite honestly, the forest sector has been taken for granted for far too long. I think, just to reach out for a Goma Steel, $500 million invested, and on the same day we're announcing idling. I find that, I don't know if I want to call it ironic, but it doesn't make any sense.
The province of Ontario was working for a biomass plant here, or a cogen, that would have took all the biomass. It was a long-term deal. It was there. It was supported all the way to last Friday. Last Friday, Ford government pulled the rug right under him and said, no, this is not our vision anymore.
It's unfathomable to me that when we're looking for economic diversity, when we're looking for a way to break away and create economic sovereignty, it's right at our feet. It's here in the forest industry. So now is not the time to divest from grassroots Canada. Now is the time to invest in these people, invest in the industry, and help us get a plan forward to create the future of this country.
With the idling of Cap Paper, Green First sawmills in the region, including Cochrane, Kapuskasing, and Hearst, will also curtail operations next week. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Kapuskasing.
In honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the Burger Barn is flipping burgers with a purpose. The local eatery has launched a fundraiser they are calling Burgers for Boobies, in support of breast cancer care through the Northern Cancer Fund. The special burger is served on a bun shaped like a breast. Each beef burger or chicken burger is $12, with 50% of the proceeds being donated to help patients and families affected by breast cancer in northwestern Ontario. Burger Barn manager Tony Hockenhall says his mother worked for many years at the local cancer center, and along with that personal connection to the cause, he says the business is always happy to help fundraise for local charities.
So we were approached by the foundation to come up with something for a collaboration with them for breast cancer research, and together with the foundation and our chef, we came up with the Booby Burger. It's just awesome to be part of something like this. They're a great foundation.
The Booby Burgers will be available until the end of October.